Our next topic that we're going to talk about is sex-linked traits. And these are traits that are found on our X and Y chromosome. Now, some of you might know this already, and some of you may not, but our X and Y chromosome decide whether we're a boy or a girl. The Y chromosome is actually what decides whether we're a girl or a boy. What happens is during meiosis, the mother, who is XX, produces a cell, 4 cells with one X chromosome in them, while the father, who has XY, is going to produce, for every 1 cell, 2 that will have an X chromosome, and 2 that will have a Y chromosome. Now, if an X and an X meet, then we have a girl, but if an X and a Y meets, we have a boy. And this happens during fertilization, when when sperm and egg actually meet to form a zygote. What are sex-linked traits? In 1910, Thomas Morgan discovered traits linked to sex chromosomes in fruit flies. And genes, some genes are attached to the X and some are on the Y chromosome. Well, remember when I told you that a chromosome is just a bunch of DNA coiled together. It's condensed and wrapped around proteins. Well, each one of these, there's segments of DNA that code for genes, and genes in turn code for a trait. Well, for example, baldness is actually located on the X chromosome. There's actually a trait that's directly linked to a gene, which again is just, a long strand of DNA that decides whether a person is going to, be bald or not. Example, in humans, color blindness and baldness are found on the X chromosome. What are sex-linked traits? In men, traits expressed anytime present. So, now this can be a little tricky. Men express these genes anytime that they're present because they have gotten one X chromosome and they've gotten one Y chromosome. Now, the reason this is whether it's dominant, whether it's recessive, it doesn't matter, because since the male has one of each of the chromosomes, they don't carry the same genes on them, so one cannot dominate over the other, and a recessive trait's always going to show up in a male, while a dominant trait will also. In women, you must have 2 genes to show the trait. So you have to have both of those genes present on the X chromosomes to show the trait. Unless, of course, it is a dominant trait, and that dominant trait will dominate over the recessive. Children inherit baldness from their mothers. So let's talk about that. So we just talked about it. There's a 50-50 chance of male or female, and the reason why this is because females carry the XX chromosomes, so they can only produce cells that have one of the X genes, while men produce XY. Well, when we do a Punnett square, we see the probability 50-50 here. Baldness is carried by the mother chromosome. Baldness is actually a recessive trait, so I don't like how this big B is represented here, but it'll do for demonstration. Well, when we talk about it's carried by the mother, we talk about it's saying that mothers are normally carriers. Now, a father can also give this trait to his son, but a father can also give this trait to a daughter. Can't actually give it to his son because, again, it's located on the X chromosome, and dad only gives Y to his boys. He gives X to his girls. So he cannot he cannot pass down that balding gene to his sons, but he can pass it down to his daughters. Um, so back to what I was saying about carriers. Females can be carriers simply because they can carry the trait but not express it. Okay, and that's what we mean by carrier. So here we have a Punnett square where we have taken it and we have one carrier female. So she is carrying the balding gene on one of her X chromosomes, and we have a normal male. Well, we go through and we see. Okay, we're going to have one balding male here and one carrier female. Okay, so this male is going to be bald later on in life, while this female will not be, but she will carry this gene. And we have a normal female and we have a normal male here. So 25, the phenotype, what we're physically going to see again, we have 25% bald males, 25% bald carrier females, 25% not bald males, 25% non-carrier females. So phenotypes. Okay, so here we have again, if dad is bald, you will be bald. Not exactly right. A lot of people are like, well, my dad's not bald, so I think I'm good. You know, I've heard a lot of men say that. My dad hasn't, he's got all his hair, but I think I'll be good. Well, not so much. If dad's bald, then dad is definitely, if he produces any females, going to pass on that balding gene. So all of his females are going to be carriers. Whereas these, his males, will not get that from him. Now, if this female was carrying a balding gene, then these males would most certainly be balding, but or have a chance of going bald. But given this, we have a normal female, she's not carrying the gene, and we have a balding male. 50% are going to be carrier females, while the other 50 are going to be normal males. We're going to have 100% bald carrier females and 100% bald males. What if mom is bald? Okay, so if mom's bald, so if mom goes bald later on in life because she has both the recessive traits here, and dad is actually normal, all females will be carriers of it, and all males will be bald. So we'll have 100% carrier females, 100% bald males.